I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? Oh, um, you want to know why I freaked out during the challenge? Well, I don't know if I told anyone here, but I'm a mom. I'm a mommy. Yeah, I have a daughter. This was like, I knew what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, I knew that I would be perfectly fine during this challenge. I was great. I knew what to do with the baby every step of the way. But Chris, did you see how he set the doll down? I know it was a toy. I know it was battery operated, but I'm a mom. You know what I mean? So like this is like second nature to me. And not one person in that villa came up to me and said, "Hey Huda, you're a mom. So like, how should I do this? How should I do that?" Like I had wisdom to give these people. I had guidance. I'm a mom. You know, like what? Did anybody forget? Like, did I ever tell you guys I'm a mom? I knew what to do. It doesn't matter if I yelled at Chris. Who cares? I'm a mom. What's up, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I will say challenge. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tammy. This is Tammy Talks. We are here to talk Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 31. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, you guys. If you guys are brand new to the channel, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. I am roughly like 350 subs away from hitting 43,000 subs. So if you've been here all season or just from yesterday, shout out to y'all. Y'all did y'all big one with that video. Hit that subscribe button, thumbs up the video, and then leave your comments down below. I know I'm gonna hear this, okay?
You just hate
And
Huda.
I'm okay with that, but
You're a Huda hater.
we have to address it, okay? We have to address Huda, coulda, shoulda's behavior tonight. We just have to. I wouldn't be Tammy if I didn't, all right? So we start off with Huda and Alandria. So Alandria feels that her and Nick can explore their connection now with a clear mind. And you know, whenever she sees Nick now, it is just, I've been attracted to him since day one, girl. Like, we keep ending up back with each other, and that means something. No, it means that y'all partners didn't want y'all. Well, Taylor didn't want you, Alandria, and Sierra was, excommunicated from the island, okay? Nonetheless, Huda Coulda Shoulda is excited for them, and she is part of Team Nicolandria, and she is just happy that Alandria is still there. You should be happy you're still there, Huda. You have been in the bottom, my good sis, twice. You should be happy that your ass is still there. Pepe and Iris, they're cuddled up on the daybed, and Iris said, "You know what? I've explored everybody in this villa but you. Yeah, you got around, sis, and that's okay. You were a bombshell." So Pepe said that he is ready to let the feelings and emotions play out with Iris. I guess now that Grayson is gone, he doesn't have to pretend like he is still hung up on Hannah. But then he asks her if he was an alien like Men in Black, like would she still like him? The fuck is going on in this conversation, Pepe? No. Let's go. Let's move on. Amaya and Brian are in soul ties. And Brian said that with him being in Boston and her being in New York, the transition out of the villa will be easy for them. And Amaya was like, "Would you come to New York?" He said, "Yeah, I was just there before I came up in here. It's nothing." So Amaya said, "Well, the first date has to be in the city for truffle pasta." Sounds bomb. I love everything truffle. So yes, please. So they end up kissing. He initiated it because there was someone like there have been people saying that Amaya is initiating all the kisses. No, she's not. Brian initiated this one, and Amaya said that she feels like a nice, clean New York pigeon. I said, "Oh, Amaya. Amaya is so New York, my God." So we see Huda. Huda said that things with Chris might work outside the villa, just might. And then the guys were downstairs playing around, and they left a condom on Huda's pillow, and Huda said, "Challenge accepted." Huda said, "Challenge accepted." Okay, so that night we see everybody was kissing and touching and making music between the sheets. It was a lot going on. They then wake up to the beautiful sound of babies crying. It's time for the baby challenge. So Shelly said, look, I was trying to sleep and I didn't know what the fuck the noise was. Ace said, why you cussing in front of these babies like that? And I was with Ace. Shelly, you watch your mouth around them kids, okay? So we see that everybody gets some kids. Ace and Shelly and Pepe and Iris, however, get twins. I said they got some extra babies laying around, huh? Okay, cool. So Ace and Shelly have their twins. They named them Chase and Apollo. Amaya and Brian have a baby. They have one. They named him Elijah, only to find out later that they really had a girl. Is that what happened? But Amaya then said that it's okay. She's a crybaby too when the baby was crying. It's okay. Mommy cries a lot too. Iris and Pepe have twins and they named them Lois and Peter. Um, they're cooking breakfast. They got the babies just laid up like two biscuits just on the side of the stove. I said, okay, so y'all gonna fail. Off rip. Alandria and Nick have a daughter and they name her Hilton initially. Taylor and Clark have a daughter and they name her Aaliyah. Huda and Chris have a daughter and they name Layla. That is not what Chris wanted to name the baby. Huda wasn't going on the name that he wanted, and so they had to default to Layla. And then Huda was like, this is gonna be easy for me because I'm a mom. Huda said, I'm a mom, goddamn it. Oh my God. Okay. So Nick and Alandria realize they have a boy, not a girl, while they are changing a diaper. And so they switch up the name. Nick wanted to name that baby LeBron or Marcel. Marcel is his middle name, and Marcel is what they named that baby. So Nick and Ace. So they're over to the side talking, and Nick said that he thought that last night was just platonic with him and Alandria, but they ended up cuddling, and she tooted her ass up into him while they were asleep, and he got some flutters. And he was like, if I didn't stop, no, if she didn't stop, I wouldn't have been able to stop. And we know, Nick, you would have gave her the best 52 seconds of her life. We understand. So Ace is like, oh, my daughter shouldn't be listening to this. Pushes the daughter's stroller away, but said his son could listen. They were clowning all episode. Tonight's episode was funny to me. Someone was a dark cloud, but overall it was funny. So we see Huda and Chris are going to be leading a baby yoga session. So Chris tried to sit the baby down. Lord have mercy. He sits the baby down. Now, we all know that this is supposed to be a trial thing. We get it, right? But at the end of the day, it's for shits and giggles, and it's really to see how y'all can work together and communicate with one another. And I'm sorry, but Huda, you got an F. You got an F, okay? So Chris sits the baby down. Huda comes running over. Bro, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I'm like, girl. He was like, I'm sitting the baby down. Huda's like, the baby can't hold her head up. No, because it's a fucking doll. That's why. So Huda said that Chris is giving her anxiety. Huda, you are giving me anxiety. How about that? You are giving me anxiety because you're doing too much. You're doing way too much. So Chris is going around asking everyone about their kids. People are like, oh, my baby's going to be good. My baby's going to be this. My baby's going to be that. We're going to do this. It's a cute little scene. I don't know what Chris was thinking, but he skipped over Huda. Do I think it was intentional? I don't. I think that he was in the mindset of we're leading the class, so we don't need to, I don't think he did. I don't think he meant it intentionally. So Huda was like, you skipped over me, you skipped over me, you skipped over me. So fuck me then, fuck me then, fuck me then, fuck me then. I said, oh, Huda. So somebody yells out and was like, Chris, y'all didn't answer. Chris was like, oh, baby girl good. She gonna be a WNBA player. He ignores Huda because she's being passive aggressive and he starts the lesson. So Huda clearly had a little attitude the entire time. Her mood is down. She's bringing down the energy of everyone else as only Huda could, should, would. Oh my God. So after yoga, Chris is standing and Huda has the baby and she was like, Chris, are you gonna put my mat back? And he was like, yeah. And she said it with a little attitude and I'm like, oh bitch. I'm so sick of Huda. Every time I give Huda some grace, every time I give her rights and I rock and I roll with Huda, she starts this bullshit up again. The fuck is wrong with you, Huda?
You're biased.
What's wrong with you, Huda? I don't understand this. Like, and I know y'all gonna come in the comments. She has PTSD from being a single mom. Sure, but if y'all are gonna sit and hoop and holler and scream all up and through social media and in the comments that Amaya needs to learn to self-regulate herself, then so the fuck does Huda. Let's keep it a stack, y'all. We gonna be fair all the way around. If y'all can get in these comments and write these soliloquies and monologues, and y'all be paragraphing me to death, talking about how Amaya does not have, emotional maturity, and giving, y'all diagnosing her with everything else, do the same thing for Huda. Because Huda, the way that Huda goes from 0 to a trillion so quickly over the smallest little things is not normal or okay either, if we gonna keep it real. So Amaya and Brian are back in Soul's house with this baby. Prior to this, they asses left the babies just sitting in the sun. But Amaya likes that Brian is attentive and cuddling with the baby and said that she wants to be held just like that. I said, okay. Okay. So the girls are having brunch on the balcony, and the boys are like, why can't we have fun? Like, we like croissants. So the boys decide to have a stroller race. And the purpose of this is to do like this little like obstacle race or whatever with the babies and to keep the babies from crying. All they little asses start screaming immediately because y'all are running full speed, jumping over shit with these babies. So part of the race, after the stroller thing, is they're changing the baby's clothes. Huda yells out to Chris, "Be careful! Be careful! Why you rolling it over her head like that, bro? Why you doing that, bro? I don't like that color." And I was with Chris. Girl, shut the fuck up. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's one thing. It's one thing if you tell him not to be so rough. Girl, fine, you got it. But you bitching over the color that he puts, it's not a real baby. It's a doll. A doll that y'all are going to be done playing with probably in the next 45 minutes. So he tells her to shut up, and I was with it. Shut the fuck up, Huda. I was all with it. And I know somebody's going to say, well, he shouldn't be talking to her like that. She was yelling at his ass first. She was yelling at him first. And the way that he said shut up wasn't even on some girl, shut the fuck up, bitch. It wasn't even on that. It was on some shut up. Like, it wasn't whatever. So afterwards, Huda was like, what were you on? And Chris was like, it wasn't even our baby crying. It wasn't even our baby crying. Like, what are you talking about? He was like, why were you yelling out about the color? In his confessional, he's talking about she feels bossy. She been bossy. You knew that. You had seen the footage prior to coming into Casa. You didn't care because you wanted to get your big broke ass into the villa. That's why. You know what type of time it is with Huda. And I feel like Chris is just buying, now that he done slept with her ass too, Chris is buying his time just to get to the end. So she tells him, don't tell me to shut up again. And he just looked at her, don't tell me to shut up again. And he was like, sorry. So then she was like, uh-huh. And she looked pleased with herself, but her eyes had went dark and shit. I said, you about to crash the fuck out, girl, over a doll. Okay. So Nick and Alandria, they both talk about wanting to be 50-50 in a relationship. And Alandria is more attracted to him now because of how he took care of Marcel, okay? Ace and Shelly was like, is this our baby? Y'all, the way I hollered when she said that, Ace was like, you don't even know your own child. And Shelly was like, nah, I mean, I've seen this outfit on another baby. Ace said, yeah, God forbid a store make more than one of these types of little onesies or whatever. So Ace said in the confessional that they have to learn to be mom and dad together. She's good when she's mom. He's good when he's dad. But when they're together, they're not working. And they need to work on how to navigate through teamwork together. That's big. Y'all need to find some other exercises to nip that in the bud now, or it's not gonna work. So we see Huda and Chris. So Huda is over to the side folding clothes, talking about some, I just want to clean up, girl. Y'all left stuff everywhere, girl. Bye. So Huda was like, a lot of things triggered me. I'm a mom, and this just took me back to the early stages of being a mom where I did almost everything by myself. Is there something that I do to affect your mood? Because I see your mood, it affects my mood, and then I'm confused. Well, during yoga, when we were doing the, whatever, you skipped over me. You asked everyone else. You skipped over me, and I'm the real mom. You didn't even ask me. And then, I mean, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. But you know what? I set out the yoga mats. The least you could have done, since I'm holding our child, because I'm a mom, the least you could have done was put my yoga mat away. I did put your mat away, but I asked you. But I was going to, you know what? Fine. Cool. I mean, it's not that deep. It's just little things I pay attention to. Huda, if it wasn't that deep, why you over to the side moping? If it wasn't that deep, why were you yelling over the balcony like a fool? If it wasn't that deep, why were you getting ready to lose your shit during yoga? What's happening? And I know y'all are going to come in the comments and make excuses for her and say that, oh, Huda is just, she's stressed. She hasn't seen her daughter in a month. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that Huda hasn't seen her daughter in a month? Whose fault is it that Huda missed her daughter's birthday? Whose fault is that? Whose? Because it's only one person's. So I don't want to hear that in the comments. Again, if y'all are going to scream from to the heavens that Amaya needs to learn to self-regulate, so does Huda, coulda, shoulda's ass. So does she. So Huda then says in the confessional, he's a good dude that wants to improve, and I can tell that he really likes me. Do you need to improve? So Huda asks him, is there anything that she needs to work on? And he was like, yeah, give me a kiss. He's not serious about her, because if Chris was really serious about serious about Huda and wanted to honestly and truly pursue Huda outside of the villa, he wouldn't have brushed this off just to get to the finish. You know what I mean? Because if you really like somebody, you really rocking with somebody, you're going to have a real conversation about some shit right now. But he doesn't do that. So he said, give me a kiss. She doesn't move and was like, you want to make a baby? Girl, wow. Wow, that escalated. Right? So he then kisses her on the forehead and said, maybe later. I said, did y'all fuck last night? So everyone is taking family pictures. Huda is taking a solo picture as he walks in. Dude, I said, girl, bye, Huda. So Taylor and Clark won the challenge. They parented the best. They really didn't do nothing. They baby was chill AF. We find out that Ace and Shelly failed, and then Brian and Amaya failed as well. I mean, Ace and Shelly did have twins, but I guess they don't care about that. So it's time for the backyard boogie, y'all. Let's head on downstairs and get some warm wine, probably with a fly in it, okay? So Nick and Alandria, they are talking, and Nick was like, I looked up on ChatGPT how to be a single dad. Yeah. I want a travel buddy. Yeah. And Alandria calls him Nicky Poo. I said, so y'all are regressing. Y'all are regressing, because remember when y'all first started shipping Nicolandria, like for real, when they first defaulted to each other, and he was like, I want you to start calling me Nick, not Nicky Poo. And they kissed, and she was like, okay, no more Nicky Poo. And he was like, big Nick in this bitch. Now she's back to calling him Nicky Poo. That's regressing. Just a little bit. I'm letting y'all live in y'all Delulu. I truly am. But, that's regressing, okay? So Chris and Brian are talking, and Brian said that he loved his cuddle with Amaya. And he said that Amaya does like the little things he loves his couple, with Amaya. Said Amaya does like little things to kind of show him that she likes him and all that type of stuff. Chris was like, yeah. Me and Huda had a little hiccup earlier. She got PTSD from her daughter and shit, dog. But, I mean, I folded her up last night. I said, not folded her up. Is that what the kids call it? Not folded her up. So, apparently Chris and Huda fucked last night. I said, damn, girl. Didn't you fuck Jeremiah too? So Chris feels like it made them stronger in their physical connection. Or it just really, really complicated things. One of the two. So Shelly plans a s'mores day for Ace. It was cute. I personally love a s'more all up and through. You can't tell me nothing about a s'more. It was a cute little date. You can tell that they are trying, but it's something about them that's not connecting. You know what I mean? Like they're here, but they're not quite here, and I don't know what it is that's keeping them from getting to that level with one another. I don't know what it is, but it always seems like they get. I don't want to say they give friendship vibes, but they're not giving the whole super passionate type of chemistry that we see some other couples have on this show. So Pepe and Iris. Pepe said that he has wanted to kiss her all day, but the babies were around. And Iris was like, "Well, that's okay. You could have kissed me in front of the babies." so Pepe is like, "I mean, we could kiss now," and they kiss, and Iris is giddy. But just a few days ago, you were sliding down the wall, and you were all but a weep over TJ leaving. Imagine how TJ feels watching this episode. So Amaya gets a text, and the hideaway is open, and they get to pick a couple, and everybody picks Amaya and Brian. And Huda said in her confessional, that they all heard them smooching all night, and now they can finally have some privacy. Didn't y'all just fuck, Huda? What are you talking about? Do you need some privacy? Like, ain't y'all all doing what it do up in there? But that was the end of the episode. Nothing too crazy, nothing too major. I enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. It was very lighthearted outside of the dark cloud. And this, okay. Okay, tomorrow we find out somebody's taking their ass home. As need be, because there are only a couple more episodes left. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, yes, I'll be doing Beyond the Villa. That starts on Sunday, so make sure you are subscribed for that. Thumbs up the video, and then leave your comments down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.